For this video, I want to look at two things. First, what was going on with Fiesta in the late 1960s, and the Granada shape by Vincent Broomhall. So we'll start with this boilerplate letter that was issued by Homer Laughlin in 1959, May 27th of 59. Fiesta Red is back. And it says, "We are happy to announce that Fiesta Red, which was discontinued in 1943 because of its uranium content, will soon be in regular production. The four colors of new Fiesta from now on will be yellow, turquoise, red, and a new medium green, which goes well with the other colors. The colors forest, chartreuse, gray, and rose will be discontinued in an orderly fashion." And it goes on to say how new folders are being made and talking about the price changing. So this color assortment remains the same throughout the 1960s. And we have a brochure here. This one's dated 1965, which shows the four colors, red, turquoise, medium green, and yellow. We open up, we see what the assortment was like in that year, which is a pretty abbreviated assortment considering what was produced back in the late 1930s and early 1940s. We have an individual salad bowl, which was created by Don Schreckengost. So this is what happens to Fiesta during the 60s. And it remains that way for the most part until we get to Sheffield Amberstone. Now, I talked a little bit about J&H International, a distributing company from Chicago, Illinois. When we looked at the Victoria shape, they made Sheffield Bone White for them. We just looked at the Regency shape in the last video with Sheffield Scandia, Sheffield Serenade. So at this point in time, and this is 1967, they're asking for another line, in this case, Sheffield Amberstone. So Vincent Broomhall takes the Fiesta line and he alters it to create this new line for J&H International. Similar in the way he did with Virginia Rose to create Dresden. So we see Sheffield Amberstone here with its underglaze print and its brown glaze, and we see the full assortment. So you'll see this print on the chop plate, the platter, all the plates, the hostess tray, and there's also a pie plate. And this worked exactly like the other ones worked, where there was 5 weeks. In this case, and this is from 1968, a dinner plate could be purchased at 29 cents for the first week. And then next week, dessert dish, coffee cup, saucer, and the bread and butter plate. So you've got 5 weeks of promotion. You could get these items at 29 cents each. And while you're getting those, you could be buying these pieces at discounted prices. So here is a Sheffield Amberstone dinner plate. So it's the regular Fiesta plate with this underglaze print. And it is marked in the same manner, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, as all Sheffield lines are usually marked on the dinner plates. Sheffield with the little fleur-de-lis, then the name of the line, Amberstone, then made in the USA. No mention of Homer Laughlin, no mention of a date code or anything like that. No mention of J&H International either. Then a second line is created called Coventry Casual Stone. I had to think there for a second because we're going to see another one called Coventry Castilian later on. But it uses Fiesta in an antique gold glaze with its underglaze print. One thing I wanted to show you before going on with the paperwork. This is a master that is made out of steel. Micrometal is the company, photo engravers plates. And this is what would have been used. They would have engraved the design on something like this and then made a rubber stamp out of it. It's in reverse, but it says Fiesta plate 10-inch. And this is what would have been used to create the pattern to go on Fiesta Amberstone, or Sheffield. It's Sheffield Amberstone, but you'll hear me lapse and call it Fiesta Amberstone. So, what Vincent Broomhall did to create this line was, first of all, he reintroduced the coffee pot, which had been discontinued. He modified the finials. He made a handleless sugar bowl. He made a tab-handled casserole. He also introduced a jumbo salad bowl. He reintroduced the ashtray. He changed the Tom and Jerry mug. And he reintroduced the marmalade. But he did change the finials on a lot of these pieces. And we see an order form. This is the full assortment. We see this pie plate. You will only find the pie plates in Amberstone, Casual Stone, I believe. And here's J&H International. This is a little control sheet from 1969 of Coventry Casual Stone. Now that one uses the restyled Fiesta shapes as well, and there's the print for Coventry Casual Stone. And we see our full assortment hostess tray. We saw that in the Regency video, what a hostess tray was with the little handle. And here's a drawing or a sketch of the Coventry Casual Stone pieces. We see the handleless sugar, the tab-handled casserole, the marmalade, the coffee pots reintroduced. We got a jumbo salad, and the pieces that have the prints. The saucer, the 10-inch plate, the chop plate, 7-inch plate, platter, and so forth. We have another printout. This comes from newspapers.com showing Amberstone from 1969. Here we have the hostess tray in Amberstone. And here we have it in 1970. And by this time, Amberstone is starting to dwindle down. The prices become cheaper. Pieces are 23 cents. That's from 1970. IGA selling Coventry Casual Stone in 1970. So what you have is this modified Fiesta line, along with the standard Fiesta line, being produced simultaneously. So what I want to show now is this letter from 1969. And this is a boilerplate letter that was made for anybody requesting the standard Fiesta line in the 4 glazes. It reads, "In answering your recent letter, we regret to advise the original colors of genuine Fiesta dinnerware have been discontinued and all production of the green, which is medium green, turquoise, and yellow has ceased. The ever-popular line of dinnerware will be reintroduced about the middle of June as Fiesta Ironstone, incorporating a few style changes, which those were actually done in Amberstone in 1967, in antique gold, turf green, and the all-time favorite mango red only." So they are holding the order that would have been placed, that would have got this letter sent to them for the regular Fiesta line, and until they can get a brochure to them and they can decide if they want to order it or not. And this is Fiesta Ironstone, which uses the shapes that were developed for Amberstone. So we see our revised casserole. We've got a teapot with a modified finial, the handleless sugar, a C-handled creamer, a C-handled teacup. We're going to talk about those more in a minute because they were used in the contemporary Fiesta line from 1986. There's your 3 colors, antique gold, mango red, and turf green. We flip it over. We see the jumbo salad bowl that was developed for Amberstone. What else? We've got the sauce boat stand that was developed for Amberstone. And our soup cereal, dessert bowl, and vegetable bowls, which, again, developed for Amberstone because the original ones in Fiesta were the straight-sided versions. There's the nappy, and there's the fruit bowl. And our flared versions for Ironstone, there's vegetable bowl, mango red, the soup cereal, and turf green. And then we have a dessert bowl here somewhere. There's our dessert bowl in antique gold. Not marked. The only pieces that'll be marked are the dinner plates. And it'll say genuine Fiesta like the old back stamps do. So that's a little bit about Ironstone and how Fiesta changes from the regular line to Ironstone using these Amberstone molds. And now, this is dated 1971. Another boilerplate letter that was sent out to anybody who was ordering Fiesta Red. It is with deep sorrow that we must announce the passing of one of the most popular and well-known products created by the Homer Laughlin China Company in the first 100 years of continuous dinnerware manufacture. We refer to the Fiesta Ironstone mango red color that has remained the same for almost 30 years, with the exception of a few years when the raw materials for this color were diverted for use by our government in the Second World War. So it goes on to say that the people who worked on it are retiring and that it's just not worth their while to keep it going on anymore. But they go on to say that antique gold and turf green will be available and that mango red delayed shipments, so we anticipate no delays with antique gold and turf green. Again, that's 1971, and by 1973, Fiesta Ironstone is discontinued. And at the same time, you lose Casual Stone and Amberstone. So all three of them go. But it's rather interesting, and it was a very smart move on their part. If you've got casual stone and Amberstone shapes being produced alongside the standard Fiesta line, it made sense to just do one. So that's why you have Fiesta Ironstone. Now, I wanted to show these real quick, because this comes from 1986 when Fiesta was reintroduced. Only 4 colors: rose, black, white, cobalt, and apricot. They initially used Ironstone, well, you could call them whatever. Ironstone shapes: the modified lid on the coffee pot, the tab-handled casserole, the handleless sugar, the C-handled creamer, and the C-handled teacup. So those are Vincent Broomhall shapes, essentially. Unfortunately, there was some problems. Anything with the lid, you're going to have a problem with this vitrified clay, in that you've got warping, the lids don't fit right. And if you find any of these pieces, and you can, I mean, they're very rare because they were made for a very short time before being redesigned, you're going to notice that the lids might not fit properly. And then very soon after the introduction, when they realized they had these problems, they redesigned the coffee pot and then the casserole. The sugar bowl they took from a marmalade. So that's just a little bit about contemporary Fiesta and its tie-in with Ironstone. So when we talk about Fiesta in general, in the history of Fiesta, we always mention Frederick Reed and we always mention Jonathan Perry with respect to contemporary. But we really should be mentioning Vincent Broomhall as well, because he plays a significant role in what was going on in the late 1960s and early 1970s with Fiesta. So that's enough about Fiesta. So let's move on to Granada. Because Granada comes about, again, by J&H International. They want another line to distribute to supermarkets. And so you get this shape that has these little semicircles embossing. You don't have a lot of embossed shapes after, oh gosh, Liberty, I guess, was the last embossed shape. Everything else is pretty plain. Well, Victoria, I take that back. Victoria has swirl embossing. But they're in this era of no embossing, all of a sudden you have something like Granada. And I don't have a marking to show you, but it would say Sheffield Granada, just like the other Sheffield marks. In this very special green glaze, it's only used on Granada. And soon after this becomes successful, they start using the Granada shape for decorated wares, and anybody can carry it. However, the green glaze was exclusive to J&H International. So you see several different patterns here. This is Golden Harvest. That was a supermarket promotion as well in this brown speck glaze. And we see different forms of hollowware. We've got the coffee pot, we've got teapot, the covered casserole, sugar and creamer, and white stone. This glaze came a little bit later. This is tulip, which is very similar to the Golden Harvest. It's just a blue version on white stone. We look at this, and it's dated 1982. So you're looking at a line that was developed in 1967 and goes all the way to 82. This was a pretty successful product for Homer Laughlin, the Granada shape. So one more thing to talk about, and we can wrap this up, and that's St. Regis. St. Regis comes out in 1969. And this was a promotion too. One company that carried a lot of this was Texaco, so their customers could buy this. And in the development process, this was referred to as Granada with intaglio design. And intaglio just means like an etched, or an etching in pottery. And that's what you have here in the center. Instead of a type of stamp or underglaze treatment, you just have this design that's in the mold. So it saves time and money. And then it's given this antique gold glaze. The marking for this plate, it says St. Regis, made in USA, SR 1001, that's its treatment number. So again, no mention of Homer Laughlin, so if you find these, look for this, if you want to find it, you're going to have to look for St. Regis markings. So the only 4 pieces got the intaglio design. The dinner plate you see here, the platter, the 7-inch plate, and the chop plate. Everything else that went with this line was just regular old Granada in the antique gold glaze. So I think that's going to be all. What do we have? We've got J&H International, December 1969, Granada. There's your full assortment. Again, what you would expect with a very extensive line with ashtrays, the jumbo salad bowl, the utility tray, the hostess tray, and then Coventry Castilian. which is March 2nd, 1970, J&H International. Again, a full assortment using the Granada shape. So I think that's it. Granada, St. Regis, and Fiesta Ironstone, Amberstone, and Casual Stone. That's going to be it.